Hey everyone, welcome to another Planetary music project. I'm Jefferson Glassie, Chief Spiritual Dude of the Planetary Gig Society, whose mission is creating unity through music, or as I like to say, making connections through music with the intention of bringing peace. You know where I am? San Francisco. Not only that, I'm in the Summer of Love suite at Music City, San Francisco, an amazing new venue that has a music theme. There's recording space, practice space, performance space, hotel, hostel, restaurant, all kinds of music-themed facilities for anybody who wants to come visit. There's the San Francisco Music Hall of Fame here as well, and Rudy Colombini has become a friend. I interviewed him for the Planetary Gig Talk podcast. I was coming through town. He said, "Come stay, and let's see what we can find out about the Music City, San Francisco." So we're gonna meet soon with Rudy. He's gonna talk with us a little bit about it, and learn a little bit about the history of the San Francisco music scene. Find out more about this fabulous venue. If you're a musician and coming to San Francisco, this is something you want to check out. They'll be reopening soon. They were open before. Been doing a lot of renovation. They hope to open up pretty soon in 2023. I'm not exactly sure when this show will publish, but hey, this is great. This is a blast. San Francisco's amazing, as you know. The Golden Gate Bridge, right on the bay here, all the scenery, the hills, Lombard Street, so many great restaurants, just a fabulous, fabulous city. And now, Music City, San Francisco. So, if you're a musician, think about coming here when you end up in San Francisco. So, let's see what this is all about. As I said, here we are at Music City, San Francisco. I mean, there's such history in the San Francisco music community, and one of the great benefits of being here is that there's a tour every day. Blandina will take you around inside the hotel, outside, show you some great music history points. Blandina.
Yes.
How are you doing? It's so nice to see you. It's
great
for you to be able to take a little time and talk about this.
Well, it is my pleasure. I'm happy to meet you, and really happy that you're here as well. This is an amazing place that going to have a great future for generations to come. I came out to San Francisco from the East Coast so many years ago, just because I heard about the music, the free spirits, the dance, the art, and just everything that made San Francisco really special. And actually, especially the music. I love singing, and this just was the perfect place for me. I was kind of an outsider, so I fit in, finally. So, years went by, and finally, this Music City, I just happened to start working here. I am so honored to be a part of what's happening here. Music City, San Francisco is really a mecca for music. And Rudy Colombini, who is the founder, is a lover of music. He's a musician. He's also a businessman, and in his heart, he wanted to leave a legacy for San Francisco, for generations to come. And so he created this whole hub in his mind. He has a very creative mind, and he came up with a vision that he is bringing to life, and it is the San Francisco Music Hall of Fame. Cleveland got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but San Francisco is renowned for their musicians and their artists and their free thinkers. So this is the perfect place. And Rudy's going to explain more of what's going to happen here. But let me just tell you briefly that I am so excited to be a part of this whole operation. This is something that I've kind of waited my lifetime for. It's going to be a really diverse, inclusive hub for music where people from all over the world, and the locals, of course, will come and share their musical ideas. And, I think right now in this world, we definitely need something that brings us all together. And music is one thing. You don't need language. It unites us all, and is kind of like, this is going to be a center for that. It's going to be artistic, spiritual, rockin', and it's really going to be a fabulous future for San Francisco for generations to come.
So San Francisco has an amazing music history, and it would take you a long time to talk about it all, but could you just give us a little quick summary of your perspective of the, what was it, the Summer of Love? What was going on? How did all this come about in San Francisco?
Well, I think, the whole Vietnam War, of course, the war, we all came together, love, peace, a renaissance of joy and of art. And so we were all connected. I came a little bit after the Summer of Love. I came more towards, I guess, the interim between Summer of Love and then the punk era. But I moved to San Francisco to a neighborhood called North Beach. And then within North Beach, we had every kind of venue of music, rock, pop, jazz, blues. And I heard some amazing people, Miles Davis, in very small venues for cheap. I mean, you hear of how much they're charging now, and you're not even close. So I heard James Brown, Bruce Springsteen, all kinds of wonderful artists. And we had great punk clubs and blues clubs. So, it's kind of evolved and kind of got a little quiet for a little while. But this Music City is going to really revive the whole music generation. It's really going to pull us all together.
And there are so many artists, musicians around in the Hall of Fame as you walk the halls here.
There's only over 90 photographs, and that's only part of some of the legends. I mean, we had to leave a few out. But, we have like Metallica, Janis Joplin, of course. Right. She's from Texas, but she found a home here with Big Brother. And she actually used to sing in my neighborhood of North Beach. She started out as a very young woman singing in North Beach and at a place called the Coffee Gallery. And one of her schoolmates by the name of Chet Helms, who started the Avalon Ballroom, she kind of went back to Texas. He went and got her and brought her back, and she joined Big Brother, and the rest is history. So we have so many Grateful Dead. I mean, come on. I mean, we have deadheads that follow them all over the world. They know every set, the good night, the bad night, whatever. I mean, they don't have a bad night, of course, but, and then we have people from blues, and the old blues guy, John Lee Hooker. He started the Boom Boom Room here. Boss Skaggs, Huey Lewis, Santana, Tupac. He actually went to high school in Marin County. So we have every genre of music. And as Music City progresses, I think we're going to create whole new forms.
Hey, everybody. So what a great opportunity. Here we are, Music City, San Francisco. It's such an inspiring place. And the great pleasure to be able to talk with Rudy Colombini, the founder of Music City, San Francisco, but also for over 20 years, the main character for the Unauthorized Rolling Stones, the Mick Jagger.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of health and taste. That's me.
And also an entrepreneur, and you've done so many things that I can't completely remember them or count them all.
I completely amaze myself. I amaze you, and it's just blowing my mind. I mean, we're doing quite a lot.
This is such a fabulous venue. Now, this is November of 2022. There's construction going on here, but it's quite a space meant to really celebrate the San Francisco music community, which Blandina told you about, and we know about. The music fans know San Francisco musicians, but it seems to me like Rudy, you've got a vision for how to kind of recreate this or start something new. I mean, tell us a little bit how all this got started in your brain. Have you had this thought for a long time?
I want to change the world. I want to change the world. I want to end sickness and death, ultimately. I just got
I'm with you.
a phone call that a friend of mine fell down and really hurt herself. She banged her head, and she's got a really serious bleed, and she's probably not going to make it. Her name is Carol, and I've known her for 55 years. And this idea of sickness and death might be something that we want to get rid of. And so you're thinking, like, what does that got to do with Music City? The healing of the world. And we're not going to really be healed as long as we keep dying. And dying is imposed on unwanting flesh.
You also, and this because of what you're saying, you've been, I guess, a minister of A Course in Miracles for a long time. I mean, you really, when you say you want to heal the world, you're not kidding. This is serious. I'm
not kidding it. I want to heal it in myself. And they say, healer, heal thyself. And if you do heal thyself, you heal the world. Because you are the world.
Yes, right.
Michael Jackson. We are the world. We are the people. What a great tune, right?
Yeah, absolutely great tune. The music can help, I think. Changes our attitude when you get in the car and turn
it's
on.
As close as we get to God. Well, it's got a lot in common with God, because you can't see it. It keeps talking to you. Right?
Right.
Can't touch it. So in terms of comparing it to other things like brick and mortar and money and gold, even bodies, it's a lot more like God.
Wow, good points. But in terms of this venue, for people who haven't had a chance to hear anything about it, could you describe a little bit about what your vision is? I know you've got plans. You've shared some of the plans, and you're working on. It's kind of a totally new kind of a thing here.
It is. Disney. He made Disneyland, right? And every kid in the world, I mean, when your parents would say to you, hey, guess what? We got tickets to Los Angeles, right? We're going to Disneyland. What would you think?
Whoa, it's awesome. Yeah.
Whoa. No, this is like beyond even like a Christmas present. It's like an end-all and the most incredible thing you can give a 60s kid or a 70s kid. This is Disneyland for musicians and people that love music and just people in general. Because when you come here, you experience fun, and when you experience fun, you're experiencing your soul and you're experiencing God. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, we get to get musicians to experience themselves and enjoy it, be able to connect with other artists and music lovers. So we have at the heart of Music City is the community of musicians that live in San Francisco, come here, have a place to hang out, a place to rehearse, a place to write, a place where they find like-kind individuals. And we form that foundational family. On top of that, we provide an opportunity for them to play. Well, they can play in their studios. They can play in our venues. We could send them out and have them play on street corners. So we've got a whole busking program. Well, that's what we're able to give a music student that most music schools can't. I
Right.
wouldn't really define us as a school because that doesn't sound like fun. But you get enough, let's just say, bread and healing and understanding from the educational side, but you get to immediately transfer that into the musical communication. So you'll have an audience to express yourself. So along with, again, having that music fan that's accessible, what's also accessible is the San Francisco Music Hall of Fame. Everything you've seen up here in picture form, which is 91 giant frames.
All around all the halls, when you walk down the halls, it's so impressive. I mean, I've been walking the halls these last couple days. Really is impressive. The information, just the presentation of it, it's very inspiring.
Thank you. So we have that. That's the top 2 floors. The bottom 3 floors will be 75 exhibits. That's 3-dimensional memorabilia. We call the exhibits Visionars, which is about what was the vision of that artist, that poet, that band.
Touching into their visions.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Right. Well, like, for example, that's the Grateful Dead. What was their vision? Well, transcendence, community in San Francisco and in the world. Probably the most communal band ever.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hall of Fame was laced in all of these halls to provide motivation. If you want a student to learn, you don't really teach them as much as you motivate them. Because once you've motivated them, the song is written.
Yeah.
The inspiration is there. And it just comes in.
Yeah, you don't tamp them down, tell them they're not playing the right chords or anything. You just let it roll.
You
We
let it
should
roll.
mention we're in the Summer of Love room here, right? I've been
Potentially
very
one of the
fortunate to
most important sociological events that's ever happened in America. I mean, just the concept, summer, world, love, like a vortex, San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful room. Thanks for the hospitality and everything. I'm definitely going to come back if I can. But so you've got like practice rooms, performance rooms, streaming. I mean, I can't even describe it all, but you're laying out the vision. Plus
Yeah.
a restaurant and every all
Well,
this
yeah,
stuff, right?
3 bars, restaurant, front and back building. Both of them have external properties to them. In the front, we have a parklet. In the back, we have tables on the street. You know, there's just never been anything like this that's happened. Complete music ecosystem. I'm trying to find the word here. It's an ecosystem. You got the education, the rehearsal, the fans, the place to play, which is one of the hardest things to find, especially in San Francisco, which has a extremely wounded artistic foundation right now. Artists, you know, we know that they don't make as much money. They didn't make as much money as just like an average person in the Renaissance. They don't make as much money in the modern world either. So when the rents quadruple, you go somewhere else. So that music scene is, for a major metropolis, is pretty weak.
I mean, it really does have a spiritual overtone. I mentioned to you I had been to India, and somehow this music ashram found me, and they both, your vision and the music ashram, kind of give me the same sort of shivers. We'll just the focus on music, ability for people to come, musicians, different levels, singers, study, perform, and all that. I mean, we need music cities, every city around the world.
It's a bit set up for that too.
Yeah.
The idea of franchising it, not from the point of view of this is a profit thing. My goal is I would like for Music City to be an eternal establishment. So it's all set up to go into a 501c3 and be there for posterity.
That would be great. That will happen.
It will. It's all set up.
Yeah.
We've got a trust for it, a 501c3, a funding that's coming from some assets I have, and this is it. This is, I think, what my job was coming here.
Coming to Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that it sounds great, and it just it's like those emanations, like the butterfly's wings. The emanations of the good vibrations of harmony and people working together in communities and bands and singing and dancing, and it can spread. That's the deal.
That is a deal.
We all can change things.
We are, there's no logo of Music City here, but it is it's a round logo, and foundationally it has the city of San Francisco in the background, and then the stand for is actually a peace sign which holds up like a microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got rock and roll and peace, and sort of generating that to the world, which is to the city, but it's a metaphor.
It's a beautiful logo. It's actually on that window behind there. It's in a lot of places. It's on that window over there. It's on that wall.
Great.
It's on that door over there.
Got it.
I mean, we didn't see it exactly right
Mm-hmm.
here, but I'm not just blowing smoke here. It's a beautiful concept, all the way around it. Plus sort of a hostel type of a venue for.
Right.
Yeah.
We want to convert ultimately the hotel into student housing, and students will want to come here from all over the world because it's a place of like where you can incubate and you could accelerate what you want to do.
The thing about talking about music, expressing, not just playing music, talking about it, researching it, studying it, spreading it, shows the commonalities we have as humans. And that, we don't have to go around fighting, beating each other over the head with lead pipes and worrying about a lot of things, because if people could just get hip to the program a little bit.
People could start singing to each other just for fun.
How about that?
I really love you.
I was just at a 5 rhythms course at Esalen about kind of the concept is dance solves problems. And I was thinking to myself, I haven't been dancing much except for weddings and in bars recently, but being with a bunch of people and just kind of
I've heard
dancing.
about that class.
It's good.
You meet a lot of girls. So you went to dance or?
Went to dance.
Went to dance.
Well, I didn't know what I was there for, but it happened. It was the magic carpet ride.
Mm-hmm.
That for me, I sort of said to music, okay, if I want to help bring peace to the world, music, spirit of music, if you can help, just come right on in this soul here, and she'll take you on a magic carpet ride.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Esalen spent some time there about 20 years ago. Could have even been a bit longer by now, maybe 30. Probably hasn't changed much. but I did have a awesome experience, and the biggest experience I may have had in my life that says something. You tell me what it says. Here we are. It's like at night, so somewhere between like maybe 9 o'clock and like 12:30, and myself and 3 other people are in this hot tub, and actually I'm thinking possibly even more, maybe like 7 or 8, and we're throwing this conversation around. It's like very esoteric, and at one moment I jump in and I just said, hey, but you guys, you really got to think about the God factor in this. Sure enough, the sky lights up. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's a freaking meteor, right? And how do we know it's a meteor? Because we see a flash, and then we hear a sizzling in the ocean.
No way. Wow.
So, just about a year ago, I called one of the people. I said, hey, John, did that really happen? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, he goes, oh, yeah, Rudy. I think about that all the time. So that was a moment.
And this Music City, San Francisco is another moment.
It's another moment. It's something that has been the hardest dedication I've ever worked towards a goal for the longest period.
Wow.
It dwarfs college, it dwarfs the academics. I would say the only thing that, and it's probably the same thing, is the healing of my own mind, which I've been working fixing this thing forever. My whole life.
Yeah.
I think as I should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am just very enthused, hopeful. Whatever we can do to, what we're doing is we're doing a program to tell people about it. And
we need to tell people about Music City. We need to tell people about how we need to heal the world. We need to tell people about how to accept each other and be helpful.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for this opportunity to be here, to be with you, to experience this. And I can't wait till it's all pulled together and come back and see these performance spaces and shows.
It'll happen in the blink of an eye.
Blink of an eye. All right.
You'll come back. The next time you'll come back, we'll be open, and you'll have a lot more to see and things to do.
And I'll have a drink in all of the bars.
Right on.
All right. Thanks very much, Rudy Colombini. Really, thank you so much for what you do.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
You got it.
Hanging on this rocky coast, we're just lonely ghosts. Been so long since we have risen from the tunnel, only stars out here. Only stars.